Woo, here's a hot take on this week's episode.
Right? And then I always laugh. I say, oh, that's the Russian roulette question. What can I get away with? Is really the question. Instead of asking, what do I need to do in order to have the longest, healthiest life given my genetic makeup? You're asking, what can I get away with? Well, you don't get away with anything. Or it's completely safe until you hit the bullet with the chamber, or the chamber with the bullet.
Level up, don't look back, let's go. Set the pace, watch me steal the show. Higher ground, yeah, I'm rising fast. This is my moment, it's built to last. Keep the focus, keep the drive. No slow motion, I'm alive. Power surging, can't deny. I'm unstoppable, touch the sky.
Welcome, everyone, to the Balanced, Beautiful, and Abundant podcast. We are taking you from burned out to balanced, beautiful, and abundant by aligning your life in the 7 pillars of abundance. And today we are going to talk about the physical pillar of abundance with someone very well known in the field of health and wellness. Welcome to the show, Udo Erasmus.
Hi, glad to be on. This is going to be fun, Rebecca.
It's going to be a great conversation.
Yeah.
Perfect way to start the year. We're recording this the first week of January 2026, and a lot of people are really focused on their health and wellness goals in January. So I know we're going to be talking a lot of things that will really set you up for a great year to crush your health goals. But before we go into that, let me tell you a little bit more about Udo. He is a world-renowned expert on fats and oils with over 40 years of research and teaching experience. He is a best-selling author of the book Fats That Heal, Fats That Kill. And his newest book is Your Body Needs an Oil Change. I love the title of that. He believes more health problems come from ingesting damaged oils than almost anything else in nutrition. And today we are diving into some of the biggest myths about fat. Udo is going to set the record straight. Let's discuss how the right fats can take your health and wellness to the next level with Udo. So Udo, why do you say that more health problems come from damaged oils than anything else?
Than any other part of nutrition. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, because oils have essential nutrients in them that the body can't make but has to have. They're called omega-3 and omega-6. And they're super sensitive to damage done by light, by oxygen, and by heat. And you would think that we would treat these most sensitive of the nutrients with the most care, but we actually treat them with the least care. We throw them in the frying pan where we damage them with light, with oxygen, and with heat all at the same time. But that's not the beginning of the problem. That's just the continuation. The industry, when it makes the oils, treats them with corrosive chemicals and bleaches them, and then heats them to frying temperature for about half an hour to get rid of half of the pesticides in the oil. The other half stay in, right? And to try and clean up the damage done, some of the damage done by this processing. And in that, about 0.5 to 1% of the molecules are damaged, turned from something that is present in nature, that life made a breakdown program for, turns them into something that never existed in nature, and for which, therefore, life never made a breakdown program. And then you eat those, and then you make them worse, of course, with the frying. Then you eat them. They occupy space in your body that is supposed to have normal molecules in it. And these unnormal molecules can't do the job that's supposed to be done in that space. So they interfere with the processes that, and disease happens at the level of interaction between molecules, not electrons, not atoms, not systems, but interaction between molecules. You get the wrong molecules, you get the wrong interactions.
I like
and
that quote. Disease happens with the wrong interaction between molecules.
yeah, the physical part of disease, that's where it starts. Whatever creates those unnatural interactions
I thought
is
all disease came from inflammation. So you're saying inflammation comes from the negative interaction of
well,
molecules that causes
yeah,
inflammation.
yeah. So if you get inflammation, what happens is you get the wrong molecules, and then
Mm-hmm.
your immune system creates the inflammation. And that leads
Mm-hmm.
to water retention, and that slows down circulation, and that isolates wherever the inflammation is. So, because it could be infection, and you don't want that to run through the body. So, inflammation is created by the immune system to
Mm-hmm.
isolate that thing, and so that it can work on fixing it. But if it can't fix it, then you end up with inflammation that's chronic,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And so, but the inflammation begins by the recognition of the immune system that there are abnormal molecular interactions taking place.
And
Something's wrong here. This does not belong in the body, says the body, right? Then say, okay, how do we take it down? How do we get rid of it? How do we isolate it? That's the job of the immune system.
now, how did you get into this niche of nutrition?
Yeah.
After 40 years in the field, how did you decide that you were going to specialize and teach people about healthy versus unhealthy fats?
Oh yeah, school of hard knocks. I got poisoned by pesticides. My marriage broke up and I wanted to kill something. So I took a job as a pesticide sprayer. And I was really careless. I was really stupid.
The pesticides, what?
I sprayed them as a job.
Wow, like on farm fields from a plane and like
gardens in the city, lawns, gardens.
Whoa.
Around the tanks that the big tanks that hold petrochemicals,
Mm-hmm.
and they put them in a sort of they put a boundary around them, and then weeds grow in there. So I used to kill the weeds around the tanks.
Okay.
And I was careless. I walked barefoot over lawns that I'd sprayed. I mean, really careless, really stupid.
Yeah.
And I did it in a bathing suit because I was vain. I was in my 30s. I liked getting a tan, and it was a summer job. And so the wind would drift the spray on my back. And this lady I worked with said to me, "Aren't you worried you're going to get poisoned?" And I said, "Nah, I'm immune." And I wasn't immune. And after 3 years, I got poisoned. So I went to the doctor and I said, "What you got for pesticide poisoning?" She said, "Nothing. You don't have anything for pesticide poisoning." And at that point, the penny dropped for me. It's like, oh, my health is my responsibility. And then because I had background in biochemistry and genetics, so I understood the science literature. Biological science was my love. And I went into the journals, Medline, where all the research studies are published, and started looking at how do I fix myself. So I know the body's made out of food, also water and air, but I was thinking food at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So if something goes wrong with your body's always turning over. I don't know if you know, but 98% of your body turns over every year.
I heard every 7 years we're on a cellular level a whole new person. That every 7 years all of the cells have turned over.
Every 7 years for 100%.
Yeah.
But they turn over like water turns over in your body very quickly. Because if you drink the water you're supposed to be drinking, you will drink about 10 to 15 times your body weight in water every year.
Yeah.
So that means that water in your body has cycled through your body 10 times in the year. And that makes up 70% of your body, right? So some of it goes through very rapidly, and some of the minerals go through slowly, but everything turns over. So if you get sick physically, then if you raise your standard of food intake, then you can rebuild your 98% of your body to a higher standard in 1 year. That's called healing. That's why healing is possible, if your body wasn't always turning over, healing would not be possible.
And that's very inspirational to hear. In January, you can, in 12 months, turn your body from sick and toxic to healthy, especially with some of the things that we're going to talk about today.
Right. So the idea is, your New Year's resolution, raise your standards.
Yes.
It's true. It's true for everything, but it's also true for the body, right?
Especially, and don't eat unhealthy oils, which we're going to talk about. So your new book, Your Body Needs an Oil Change. I love that title. What does that mean on a cellular level? Your body needs an oil change.
Well, it's the idea is, well, your car gets an oil change. You don't give your body an oil change. You eat fried foods. You eat fried fats. You eat fats that have been damaged. By the way, if you take a tablespoon of an oil, the way industry makes it, if it's 1% damaged, guess how many damaged molecules you're going to get in that 1 tablespoon of oil?
How many?
I want you to guess, because
I don't know. 1 million.
Okay, good, perfect. That's got 6 zeros behind it, right?
Yes.
Okay, the actual number is a 6 followed by 19 zeros.
That's how many damaged molecules you're going to ingest?
In 1 tablespoon of oil, if it is 1% damaged.
Oh my
God. And usually it's usually 1% damage, and most people use 2 to 4 tablespoons.
And when you go to a restaurant, you're not eating anything fried because you don't know what kind of oil they're cooking with.
Well, even it doesn't matter if I know what the oil is. It was okay before they fried it, but when they fried it, they damaged it by light, oxygen, heat all at the same time. And now you got another 5% damaged molecules.
So you don't eat any fried foods?
Nope.
Okay.
I actually did a video where I had a frying pan. I said, look, get your frying pan, turn it upside down, wank yourself on the side of the head with it. So I did that, and then go and throw it in the garbage. That's where it belongs. Because frying is the dumbest thing we've ever invented to do to our food if health is our goal.
What about scrambled eggs?
Yeah, you can scramble them in water. You can boil them. You can soft boil them, hard boil them. You can water scramble them. The fox eats them raw, right?
Yes.
So there are lots of, and nature's standard, if you think about it, every creature that eats its food fresh, whole, raw, organic, local, mostly seasonal. And for human beings, probably mostly plant-based, because when we only had rocks to hunt with, the hunters came home without meat most of the time, because the animals ran away or they fought, and then they would get vegetables to eat, because vegetables are easy to hunt down and kill.
So what kind of diet are you on?
Mostly plant-based, mostly raw, mostly organic.
Do you eat eggs or fish or dairy?
Nope. My son is a hunter, so for New Year's I went to his place and I had some moose meat. So I'm not fanatic about it.
Yes.
But I don't like the industry, the way they treat the animals, the pesticides, hormones, all kinds of stuff, pesticides, hormones, and the chemicals, because everything is done for money, and money is the big deal. And so wherever you can cut corners and make it cheaper and make it simpler and then charge extra for it, that's how we run pretty much all our businesses. We're not thinking about health. We're not thinking about peace. We're not thinking about, joy. We're not thinking about love. We're not thinking about all the good stuff that we were told we should think about, right? But we're not thinking about that. Everything's about money. Money is money. We worship money.
And it's the same way in Canada as it is here? You guys worship money up there too?
It's everywhere around the world.
I thought it was just in the United States.
No, I think the United States is better at it than anybody else.
I think we're leading the charge, but the rest of the world caught on.
Yeah.
So what are the damaged oils that we should be avoiding? I know probably Crisco, or I don't know. Just give us a list of oils. Like if we see this ingredient in a food, we are running for the hills.
Yeah, the problem is that I can say to you all of the oils in plastic bottles that line the shelves. The
Right,
plastic
because
leaches into
plastic,
oil too.
yeah, the plastic, I
You
was
know,
going to say, that leaches into the oil and makes
yeah,
it toxic.
oils swell plastic, and then plastic leaches into oil quicker than into water. So it's
Whoa,
another problem.
I didn't know that.
So they should be in glass. They should
Okay.
be protected from light. So the
Mhm.
oil in plastic is not protected from light, and it goes through there and damages molecules, creates free radicals, and that creates chain reactions. And so there's a lot of change going on while those oils are sitting on the shelf.
Just
So
or in the transportation. I mean, if they're in plastic bottles and it's 100 degrees and they're in the back of some truck, they're
yeah,
moldy by the
although
time.
usually when they're being shipped, they're in boxes, so it's dark in the boxes,
Right.
right? But the heat the heat speeds up chemical reactions. So any damage that happens will happen faster the higher the temperature is, which is why the frying pan is such a bad idea. In the frying pan, the oil is exposed at high temperature to light and oxygen, which damage it. And
Oh,
there's like all kinds of different kinds of damage. There's like probably 15 different kinds of damaged molecules. And when we measure the damage done to oils, the only thing we measure is trans fatty acids and oxidation or rancidity. But there's like 12 other kinds of damage, and we don't even measure it. So we
amazing.
don't even know what we're getting.
We're going to cut to a quick break.
Yep.
When we come back, I am still curious. I know it's the plastic, but I want to have some specific oils that my listeners are like, if we see this, we're definitely not going to ingest it. Thank you so much, everyone, for going on this journey with us. We'll be right back after this quick break. I am so excited. I created something special just for you. It's called the Balanced Beautiful Bundle. And inside this bundle, you're going to get instant access to a PDF copy of my best-selling book, How to Make a Six-Figure Income Working Part-Time. You're going to get my best health and beauty tips to help you glow from the inside out. You'll get my Elegant Warrior Manifesto, a daily reminder of your power, grace, and purpose. You'll get my Abundance Journal to help you manifest more joy, love, and prosperity. And you'll get a daily journal reminder to keep your mindset strong and your energy and your vibe high every single day. This bundle is your shortcut to balance, beauty, and abundance in an elegant way. So grab your copy now by going to the show notes and start living your most balanced, beautiful, abundant life today. Hey there, it's Rebecca, your magnetic abundance mentor. Let me ask you something. Are you feeling stuck, burned out, or like life just isn't as juicy as you know it can be? If you're nodding right along, it's time for a breakthrough. My coaching program is designed to help you align your life in all 7 pillars of abundance: spiritual, physical, emotional, romantic, mental, social, and financial. So you can finally live that big, bold, sexy, and adventurous life you deserve. And here's the best part. I'm inviting you to schedule a breakthrough call with me. No pressure, no sales gimmicks, just a genuine chance to experience my coaching firsthand and get crystal clear on what is next for you. Because your best life is not a someday thing, it's a right now thing. So click the link in the show notes to book your breakthrough call and let's start making magic together. Your next level is calling you. This podcast review is from Bring It On, and she says that the Balanced, Beautiful, and Abundant show is amazing and inspiring. She goes on to say, I believe this show is a place where women can come and really learn and grow. Rebecca creates a strong and safe space for women to share and be vulnerable. I highly recommend this podcast. Thank you so much. And it is absolutely a safe place for all women to come and learn. Thanks for being a great listener.
Don't look back, let's go. Set the pace, watch
Welcome back to the Balanced, Beautiful, and Abundant Show. I'm your host, Rebecca Whitman. I am interviewing Udo Erasmus, who is an expert on healthy and toxic fats. We are talking about which oils to avoid if we see them on the label. We just discussed that we don't want to have oils in a plastic bottle. Any of the other things we should be looking out for, Udo?
All of the oils that are made by mainstream industry have been treated with sodium hydroxide, corrosive base, very corrosive base, phosphoric acid, very corrosive acid, have bleached with bleaching clays because the color molecules in oils absorb light, and then the light damages the oil. And then they end up with a mess, and then they have to heat it to frying temperature for about 30 minutes to clean it up. That's the way the oils are made by industry. All of them are damaged. And the more omega-3 they have, the more damaged they are, because omega-3 is damaged 5 times more rapidly than omega-6. And we have in our food, in our fat intake, we have a lot of omega-6s. That's more than doubled in the last 100 years. And we've lowered our omega-3 intake to 1/6 of what people got in 1850. So we've also changed the balance between them. And when they're unbalanced, they go through the body, through the same system, and they compete. So if you get too much of one, it crowded out the other. So 99% of the population does not get enough omega-3s for optimum health. And because we're getting more omega-6, we actually need more omega-3s to balance them. So that was another thing that I learned when I was doing the research to trying to figure out how to get healthy. And I came to the conclusions that I can't get healthy on oils that are damaged like this. We should make oils with health in mind. And because I knew what the issues were, I figured out you have to make a very, very tight system so that no light, oxygen, or high temperature can wreck the oil while it's being pressed, filtered, settled, filled, and all of that. And I developed a method for making oils with health in mind. Out of that came flaxseed oil, which pretty much is a household word these days. That we did that in 1986.
So you helped invent flaxseed oil?
Yeah, that was my method.
Wow.
I'm in the Canadian Health Food Association Hall of Fame for starting the industry of making oils with health in mind.
Incredible. Congratulations. I love it. I think that's amazing. And you also, go ahead.
Yeah, 2005, I got inducted. I didn't do it to do that because I was dealing with my own issue. And because I was sick, I couldn't just cut corners. I needed honest information. And the best way to get honest information, you fix the problem yourself. And so that's basically why I ended up with oils. Then I got omega-3, omega-6 deficient on flax oil because it has a lot of omega-3, but not enough omega-6. So then I made a blend so that the balance between the two is right, so they both can do their job in the body. They make super important functions in the body. They have hormone-like regulating functions of cell activity in every cell in the body on a moment-to-moment basis, lifelong. That's how important they are.
And that is your product that you invented, Udo's Choice.
It's called Udo's oil. We call it's called Udo's oil. And we're in about 40 countries. I spent 15 years on the road, 6 to 9 months every year, living out of a suitcase just to go and tell the story. I've given, I think, about 10,000 lectures
on oil.
Mostly oils, but I talk about health and human nature, which is really even more important.
Oh yeah. So why is Udo's Choice so important? What is the ratio of the 3, 6, 9 omegas? And
so we balance the 3 and 6 are essential. 9 is not essential. That's just part of marketing. So that's why it's called 3, 6, 9. But 3 and 6 are essential. They need to be in the right ratio. And there's some leeway, but we're usually around 10 to 1 or 20 to 1 in favor of omega-6. We use twice as much omega-3 as omega-6 because we're getting omega-6s and it's sustainable. It's sustainable that 2-to-1 ratio. But the issue is that no light, no oxygen, no heat, no damage to the oil. It's in brown glass bottles, so they're dark, and we put a box around it to cut the light out. So every bottle is in a box. So we really went the extra mile. They're refrigerated in the factory. They're refrigerated in the store. You refrigerate them at home, and you add them to foods after they come off any heat source afterwards.
So you don't
never,
cook.
you never, ever should cook with good oils, because then you wreck them. That's what wrecks the oils, aside from the industrial processing, which is
No cooking with olive oil or avocado oil or coconut oil.
Nope. Because the research is very clear. When you overheat foods, it doesn't matter whether it's starches you're talking about or protein you're talking about or the oil you're talking about, you increase inflammation and the risk of cancer by each one of those, independent of the others.
So what
That's why I say frying is the dumbest thing we've ever invented to do to our food if health is our goal.
So you just season your food and use marinades, but no oil.
Yep.
If you want to cook it.
Yeah, you can. I mean, if you want oils, other oils. What I do is I get tahini. You know what tahini is, right? Sesame. It's like peanut butter, only made out of sesame seeds.
Yes.
So I dump the sesame oil because it's an omega-6 oil, and I put in my oil because it's a better oil and it's better balanced and it's made right. And then I put in a whole bunch of spices, cayenne and ginger and turmeric and black seed, amla, neem, a whole bunch of spices, because the spices are the most anti-inflammatory, anti-cancer, anti-cardio, anti-diabetes, anti-autoimmune, anti-cholesterol, antioxidant foods that we have. You want protection from the problems that white sugar and burnt fats and those things cause? Go heavy on the spices. And so I do that. So I mix that in with the oil, and then I dip my vegetables in it.
Nice. Very nice.
It's really good. And, you know, at 83, I have a lot of energy. And I'm still firing on at least 2 cylinders.
Well, you're doing great. So I know you're talking a lot about not cooking with oils, but what are I'm still trying to get a list of the most toxic oils to avoid at all costs. Like, I know people say that seed oils are toxic. Like what are some oils to avoid?
Yeah, this is a good myth to talk about. Seed oils or omega-6s are bad, and that's very big. That's very big right now. That's everybody saying it.
Everybody's saying.
And not one of the people who says that has ever talked to me.
Well, what do you think about seed oils?
Isn't that interesting?
Yes.
So here's what happened. I got to a point where I was going through the literature, and I read a study, and it said omega-6 is an essential nutrient. And essential means you can't make it from anything else in your body. You have to have it to live and be healthy. You have to bring it in from outside. If you don't get enough, you can't stay healthy. And if you don't get enough long enough, you die. This is really important stuff. Yeah. And if you're going down because you're not getting enough, but before you die, you bring enough back into your diet, into your body, then all the problems that come from not getting enough are reversed, because life knows what to do, provided I take responsibility to make sure they all land, all of the essential nutrients land in my body in optimum quantities, so life can make me an optimally healthy body. There's 42 of them, 18 minerals, 13 vitamins, 9 essential amino acids from proteins, and the 2 essential fatty acids. And there are no essential carbohydrates. So that makes carbohydrates the least important food.
Yes.
So where were we going with this?
I was trying to get a list of toxic oils of you, and we talked about seed oils being toxic, and you said they're not.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Right. Okay. So when I read that, the next study I read said omega-6 gives you cancer and kills you. So I'm going, it's essential for health. I have to have it. so it can kill me. It's like, what?
Yeah.
And I thought, at that time, it was like, that was in the early 80s. At that time, I wasn't thinking, oh, well, they're cheating. Somebody's cheating or somebody's lying. I said, no, I must be missing something. And it was that contradiction that was driving me nuts, that forced me to look deeper into how oils are made. That's when I found out the damage done by industry, and that 60 quintillion molecules, right, that you get in a tablespoon, 60 quintillion molecules, that's more than 1 million molecules for every one of your body's 60 trillion cells.
Wow.
Right? And we're doing that twice that, and we fry them on top of that, and we got pesticides in there, and we got plastics in there, and we do that every day for 30 years. Yeah, something's going to fall apart. So that's what got me into the thing. Is like, oh my God, we should be making oils with health in mind. I'm going to do it.
And that's when you invented flaxseed oil.
That's where it started. But the people who are talking about seed oils are bad and omega-6s are bad, they are blaming seed oils and omega-6s for what should be blamed on the damage done to them. And they're blaming an essential nutrient that you have to have, instead of blaming the damage and figuring out how to make oils with health in mind. See,
so like
I did that. All of these guys. So what?
Blackseed oil, currant oil. These are some of the plant-based oils. As long as they're cold pressed and
no, cold pressed is a meaningless term.
Okay.
It's just a marketing term. They need way back when they used to put them through wedges. They called them cold hammered. And when the industry started, they wanted to give the impression that their oil was as good as the old cold hammered stuff. So they called it cold pressed. But there's never a definition for it, and people will heat an oil to 450 degrees Fahrenheit and still call it cold pressed. And when we asked them, well, how come you do that? They said, well, we define, because anybody can define it any way they want. We define cold pressed to mean that no external heat was added to the press when the oil was being pressed. But they leave out all the other things they did to it afterwards. So cold pressed is a meaningless term. It's used for advertising. Okay. The oil, basically, it's and flax oil made me omega-6 deficient, because the ratio is bad in the other way that most of our diets are. So that's why I ended up making the blend to balance the ratio. The oil should be in glass. It should probably be in dark glass. If you really want to be careful, it should be in a box. It should be refrigerated. If we ship the oil to Asia and Europe, if it's in transit longer than 2 weeks, it's shipped refrigerated. And then you use it on cold, warm, and hot foods, but never for frying.
And what is in your blend? What are the oils that are in the
flaxseed for omega-3, sunflower sesame for omega-6, evening primrose oil is in there for the polyphenols it contains. It also contains an omega-6 derivative called GLA. Then we have rice germ and oat germ oil. That's in there for the minor ingredients. We have a little bit of coconut in it. Nice flavor, but also has good antioxidants in it. And then we have lecithin, which is an emulsifier, which makes oil easier to digest and has its own health benefits. And vitamin E, which is an antioxidant. And all of them organic. It's an organic product. So we literally did everything right. And it was a love project, not a how much money can I make project. I was not thinking about money. The money's been good. But I did it because I got poisoned. I moved in with my mother. I wrote the book. The original book was called Fats and Oils. It took me 6 years to write it. I had to go to the library in the days before internet and go through the stacks and pull out the books and read stuff and ask the librarian where this stuff is. I was doing this every day for like 4 years.
And how old were you when you moved back in with your mother?
I got poisoned when I was 38. I moved in with my mother when I was 41. And then, so it turned out to be a good thing because it freed my time because I wasn't working. And I said, well, I want to do it full time or do it on weekends. And she knew, she said, yeah, you can move in, you can get free room and board. So, and then she had a stroke and I was able to help her because I happened to be living there as well. So it turned out to be quite a good thing. And then while all my friends were partying, I was banging away on a handheld, non-electric, portable typewriter, doing my manuscript. And I wrote it 3 times because the first 2 times I looked at it and I said, that's garbage. That's terrible. And so I started again and I said, I wouldn't buy that book. So I started again. And the 3rd time I wrote it, it literally just all fell into place. 59 chapters and 54 of them. I just wrote them like, it got so organized inside of me. I don't know really how to explain it, but it just came out and that started it.
Amazing. We're going to take a quick commercial break. Everyone, thank you for being a part of the Balanced, Beautiful, and Abundant show. And we're talking all things healthy fats. When we come back, we are going to talk about what exactly is EPA and DHA. We'll be right back. Okay, can I be real for a second? You're out there crushing it in some areas of your life, but in others, it's like a hot mess express. Sound familiar? Here's the thing. You're not just meant to survive, you're meant to thrive. And that's exactly what I help my clients do in my coaching program. Together, we'll tackle all 7 pillars of abundance because who wants killer abs but a dumpster fire of a bank account? Or a thriving career but 0 in the romance department? Yeah, no thanks. I'm inviting you to schedule a breakthrough call with me. No pressure, no awkward sales pitch, just you, me, and a chance to figure out why you're stuck and how to get unstuck. So stop doom scrolling and start doing something about it. Click the link in the show notes and let's start giving you your best, most bougie life. You in? Are you ready to reset, realign, and rise into your best year ever? Join me January 23rd through 26th at the beautiful Amara Resort and Spa in stunning high vibe Sedona, Arizona. We'll set powerful intentions, create customized affirmations, and design vision boards using my 7 pillars of abundance framework so that you can make 2026 your most aligned and abundant year ever. You'll enjoy deep connection, breathtaking views, and total relaxation at the newly renovated Amara Resort, complete with a luxurious spa, fitness center, and zero-edge infinity pool. Spots are limited, so head to the show notes or message me directly on Instagram at Rebecca E. Whitman to learn more and claim your spot today. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Balanced, Beautiful, and Abundant show. We are talking to Udo Erasmus about healthy versus toxic fat. The body has to convert plant-based omega-3s into EPA and DHA. Is that correct? So first we need to know what is EPA
and a whole lot of other things. EPA and DHA you find are omega-3s you find in fish oils.
Okay.
And they are not essential because the body can make them. If you get enough omega-3s plant-based, your body will make the fish oil. They're called essential fatty acid derivatives or omega-3 derivatives. The fish oil industry always said the body can't convert, but the body can convert if you get the foundation right. The main reason the body doesn't convert is we don't get enough omega-3s and we get way too many omega-6s. When you fix that problem, the conversion is not a problem at all, provided you get enough. And we're talking about a tablespoon, 2 tablespoons, up to 4, 2 to 4 tablespoons for most adults, mixed in food, spread out over the course of the day. And I don't take fish oils on purpose because I'm here to prove that you don't need them. They're also super damaged because omega-3s are 5 times more sensitive to damage than omega-6, and EPA and DHA are 5 times more sensitive to damage than the plant omega-3s. So they're super sensitive. And the industry treats them the same way they treat the other seed oils, but they're 25 times more sensitive than the omega-6s. So that's why they stink so much. That's why when you eat them, you burp, the burps you get. Or if you get a little bottle of fish oil that's not in capsules, and you open it, you just open it and close it. Little oxygen gets in, you put it back in your fridge, and within a couple of days, you can smell the rancidity of the oil. That's how sensitive they are.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's all the chemicals that are used, and then there's all the toxic chemicals that are in fish these days, because fish is now the dirtiest meat on the planet, because we've used it as a sewer. Everything we dump on land goes to the ocean. If it's oil soluble, it ends up in the fat in the food chain, and it concentrates up the food chain. So fish are on top, like salmon is high on the food chain. Algae would be at the low end. And so I don't eat fish anymore. I used to eat salmon all the time. I don't eat them anymore.
What do you think is the cleanest protein to eat if you're not plant-based?
Well, a cow makes a steak out of grass, right?
What?
A cow makes a steak out of grass.
It's the body of the cow. Yeah.
So there's enough protein in grass to make a steak.
Yeah, that's true.
And the milk and the cheese you eat, they're also made out of grass.
That's right.
Okay, you're not a cow, so you might have to. But if you're not a bodybuilder on steroids, you can get enough protein from plants. The richest source, there's more protein in seeds and nuts than there is in steak, because a steak is 80% water, and seeds and nuts are only 10 to 15% water. So a lot of protein. So I get most of my protein from seeds and nuts.
Dr. Gundry said that food is merely a delivery system for olive oil. And he says that olive oil is the most important thing to put in your body. What is your opinion on that statement, that food is a delivery system for olive oil?
That's more than stupid.
Why is that?
And you have to remember, doctors are not trained in nutrition.
Yes. And
when they start talking nutrition, they make it sound like they invented nutrition. There's this aura the doctor has of being, the reason I left medicine, we were told in first year medicine that a doctor should always sound as though he knows what's going on, even when he doesn't. We were told that. They said, lie to people. And I grew up on a farm. We call that lying. I said, I'm not going to spend my life doing that. Right. But let me answer your question about frying, because I never answered it. I've been quite good at evading it.
You've been evading a couple other questions. I'm still waiting for my list of oils to avoid no matter what.
Yeah, all of them. All of them, unless they're made with health in mind, or they come from seeds and nuts that are not roasted and not salted.
Okay. Unless they're
I eat olives.
Dark glass.
Yeah, but people say, oh, you can fry with saturated fats like coconut and lard, and the same people who diss the oils are pushing lard and coconut and butter. And the truth is, when you fry with oils, you do damage to the food and to the oil. The most damage is done to the most sensitive oils. So omega-3s fried become most toxic. Omega-6s fried become toxic. Omega-9s fried become a little less toxic than omega-6s, but still toxic. And when you fry saturated fats, they still become toxic. But the least toxicity is in the hardest fats because they're the most stable. They have the least essential nutrients in them, so that's not a good thing. But they get the least damage. So I can't tell you what is, people usually ask me, what can I fry with? If I have to fry, what can I fry with? Well, first of all, you don't have to fry, right? And then I always laugh. I say, oh, that's the Russian roulette question. What can I get away with is really the question. Instead of asking, what do I need to do in order to have the longest, healthiest life given my genetic makeup? You're asking, what can I get away with? Well, you don't get away with anything. Or it's completely safe until you hit the bullet with the chamber or the chamber with the bullet, right? So nothing is good for frying, but the least bad is the hardest fats. So coconut and butter and lard and tallow.
What about ghee? What do you think about ghee? Cooking with ghee?
Well, ghee is butter. Ghee is just clarified butter. And it's the reason why they clarified it. Actually, butter is better than ghee because in ghee, they take out nutrients that make the butter spoil. That they started that in India because it's a hot climate without refrigeration, or was. So they melted the butter and the protein settled on the bottom and the froth settled on top. They skimmed off the froth, poured off the butter. So now you had a cleaner fat, more fat and no other stuff. Well, bugs can't live on just fat. They need protein too. So that's why clarifying the butter made it more keepable in that situation. But butter is actually better from a nutritional point of view. But it should be organic and it should not be pesticide. And and frankly, I would put it on my bread. I would not fry with it. I threw out my frying pan. It is like, it's along with the pharmaceutical drugs and the side effects and the pesticides and the side effects and all that stuff that's now getting some attention. Well, frying should be getting that attention, and the damage done to seed oils should be getting that attention, and we should be forcing industry to make oils with health in mind because it's completely possible to do that.
So you would say frying is the new smoking?
I think, yeah, I would say frying is probably worse than smoking.
What? Frying is worse than smoking a cigarette?
Yeah, well, because if you in every tablespoon you have 60 quintillion molecules, like a million molecules for every cell. You're not getting a million toxic molecules from the smoke, because you smoke, you inhale, you get some. You breathe out some of that smoke. So you're not eating, you're not putting all that smoke into your cells. You're wrecking your lungs. It's hard on your lungs for sure, right? But frying is hard on every cell in your body.
Wow. Let's talk about cellular health, because a lot of women who listen to this podcast are high achieving midlife women that are dealing with premenopause and menopause. How do fats and oils affect hormones, mood, and mental clarity?
Well, that's a short answer question. No, okay, so let's talk about hormones.
Yeah.
Omega-3s particularly, but omega-6s to some extent, improve the function of hormones at the cell receptor level. So they make your hormones work more effectively. So what that means is that as you age and your hormone production goes down, you have normal function for longer than you would have if you weren't getting the oils. Oh, well, that's cool. You might call that rejuvenating.
Yeah.
Okay? Oils do that, but particularly the essential fatty acids do that. And when they're part of the membranes, they make everything work better because they're high energy and they give you more energy. We work with athletes, 40 to 60% increase in stamina if they took a tablespoon per 50 pounds of body weight of Udo's oil mixed in food, spread out over the course of the day. And if they did their sport to exhaustion in 30 days, they got 40 to 60% increase in performance. They recovered quicker, they healed quicker, they slept better, their reflexes were sharper. So a lot of benefits just for vitality.
You're going to have to provide a promo code for our listeners after how much you're making us want to try this oil. Because now I want to try it. So either free bottle.
I don't get paid on the oil. I don't make any money on the oil.
Well, we want to know where to get it. Where do you get it on Amazon or?
Yeah, you can get it on Amazon, and you can get it. I like to send people to the natural food stores, and it's in the fridge. It's in the brown glass bottle, in a box, in the fridge, in the supplement section, in the health food stores.
Okay. And does it taste good on like toast? Like, how do people take it in a smoothie?
Yeah, and you add it to things. You literally lose it in foods. The more flavors are in the food, oils enhance flavors, and they improve the absorption of oil soluble nutrients. Mm-hmm. So they do that. But if it enhances flavors, so put them in the best tasting foods. Because oil by itself, some people like the taste and some people don't. Sometimes they don't like the texture of it, or they don't like oils are never going to taste like ice cream. So if your tongue is trained for ice cream, oil will not satisfy that taste. So hormones. What else you had? Oh, brain function. There's research that shows when you increase your omega-3s, you can increase your IQ by 3 to 9 points.
Wow. You guys sneak that in your partner's, oatmeal if you want to have
if you're married to a dumb guy, give him some oil, he'll become a little smarter.
That's right. You'll have much better conversations. If you seek oil in his morning smoothie, then by dinner he'll be a lot smarter and entertaining for you.
Yeah, something like that. But where it actually makes more sense is they elevate mood and lift depression. Omega-3s without doing any counseling, because in part the lack of omega-3s causes a decrease in energy, because these are the highest energy molecules in our nutrition. Right? Decrease in energy and a decrease in brain function, and so you kind of get low mood, it's a little bit tired all the time. It's kind of like that, right? And it's not this is not you can get depression for mental causes too.
Oh yeah.
Like you hate your life, or you regret your past, or whatever it is, right? But this is actually based just on physical. And so they elevate mood and lift depression.
Well, oils do all kinds of things. We're going to do some
what else did you want to know?
I think that's it. We're going to do some rapid fire questions at the end here to end the show.
Yeah. Can I do one more thing?
Yes.
Unbelievably important in pregnancy, because the brain is mostly fat. If you take the water out of the brain, 61% of the brain is fat, and it's mostly omega-3 and omega-6 derivatives. And when a woman gets pregnant, she has to maintain her brain and build a brain in her womb. Well, if most women don't get enough omega-3s, so the child will take it out of her brain. It's one reason why women get baby brain.
Yeah.
And because the nature says, well, mom's the past and the kid's the future. So we will sacrifice the past for the future if we need to. So if she doesn't get enough oil, the kid depletes her brain. Each child they've measured gets less than the previous child. Each child depletes the mother further. And they think it's why the IQ is highest on average in oldest children and goes down with birth order. And also why women get 2 to 15 times more depression, fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue, collagen, inflammatory, and autoimmune disease than men do. Because the depletion of essential fatty acids during pregnancy sets them up for those conditions in a way that men are not set up, because men hardly ever get pregnant. Right? So what the research says, women need to make sure they get a reliable source of both essential fatty acids, and reliable also means undamaged, in their diet, both for their own health and the health of their children.
Interesting. Well, there's so many positives that come out of eating, the right kind of fats, but we are going to end with some fun rapid fire questions. So what is one habit that we can do to improve our health the fastest?
I think hands down, stillness practice. If you sit still, it takes time. It takes time to learn it, and you get better at it when you do. Because when you sit really still with yourself, you discover gradually how incredibly beautiful it is to be a human being alive. And when you get inspired about being alive, then all the habits you need to change that get in the way of you having the healthiest, longest life are very easy to change. Because inspiration frees energy. You call it entertainment, entertainment, inspiration. Whatever gets you laughing, whatever gets you energized. And I realize that I can give you all the best information, and people will not put it in practice if they don't also get inspired about it. And so vitamin 1 is inspiration.
Oh, I love that. I love that. What do you think about the fat in the coffee trend, the bulletproof coffee, where people are putting fat in their coffee in the morning to feel more satiated?
I told him he should put Udo's oil in there because it's a better oil. I've talked to Dave Asprey. Right?
Yeah, Dave Asprey.
Yeah, and I talked to him because he lives not that far from where I live.
Okay.
And I talked to him, and he said he did it, but he never noticed the difference. Well, he didn't pay attention. It's better. It's and the coffee gives you energy, and the oil gives you stable energy. What's good about it is you're talking about using fat as your main fuel, because you don't get the blood sugar swings and the insulin swings and the mood swings and the cravings from fats, and fats don't make you fat. They actually suppress appetite. So you get stable energy and appetite suppression. So that part is good. But why not use it with the oils your body has to have instead of coconut, which your body can take or leave?
Well, what do you think about MCT oil versus coconut oil?
What he's done is he's taken the fraction of coconut oil that does not increase cholesterol. Because there are some fractions in coconut oil that increase cholesterol. It's debatable these days. It's debatable whether cholesterol is really the enemy. That's a whole other.
That's a whole other podcast.
That's a whole other discussion. Yeah.
I've heard that cholesterol can be good because that cholesterol is needed for the body to make hormones.
Well, all of the steroid hormones are, the male and female, and the steroid hormones and bile acids and vitamin D, they're all made out of cholesterol.
Right.
So cholesterol is an important molecule. I think it's been demonized. It's even an antioxidant. If you don't have enough antioxidants, your cholesterol oxidizes. And then when your cholesterol gets oxidized, you start to have problems with it. So there's a whole other story. That's
a whole nother podcast. We'll have to do that the next time.
Yeah. But I would like to do a podcast with you on total health based in nature and human nature, or human nature as a teachable field. Those are my turn-ons right now. Okay,
well, we'll have to do a part 2.
Yeah.
If you could only eat one fat for the rest of your life, what would it be?
100% Udo's oil. Unlike the doctor,
that's a combination.
Unlike the doctor, I take my own medicine.
But you can't say Udo's oil because that's a combination of all your favorite fats. If you could only pick one fat to live on for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Too late.
You'll pick one?
Well, no, because they're 2 essential fatty acids.
Okay.
And you've got to have them both.
Okay.
You can't be healthy not getting them both. If you were going to not do that, probably the best balanced, easily available is hemp seed, because it has some omega-3s, but it has a lot less omega-3s than is optimum.
Hemp seed oil. If you
hemp seed or hemp seed oil that has 3 times more omega-6 than omega-3, but at least it has an appreciable amount of omega-3. Flax oil will make you omega-6 deficient if that's the only source of fat you have. So I can't tell you that one. That's got the most omega-3. And that's why I go to the blend, because it's in between those two. And we got to decide how to balance it so they both do their job in the body.
Sounds great. Well, Dr. Udo Erasmus.
Was that it? No more rapid fire questions?
That's the end of the podcast. I know you don't want it to end, so we'll have to stay in touch, and my listeners will have to stay in touch with you. So what is your website and what are your social media handles?
Oh, UdoErasmus.com is my website, and I'm on Facebook. You know, with a name like Udo, if you go into Google, I show up on the first page, UDO. There are not a lot of Udos around. So
And
that's my SEO. Udo Erasmus. Yeah.
Spell that for them as well.
Yeah, and I'm on Facebook and I'm on Instagram and I got a YouTube channel and
he's famous. You'll definitely find him
I'm not hard to I am not hard to find. If you know how to spell my name correct, I'm not hard to find. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Udo Erasmus, for being on the show. Thank you, everyone, for listening to the Balanced, Beautiful, and Abundant podcast, where you can achieve success in life through aligning your life in the 7 pillars of abundance. And until we meet again, keep your vibe high and magnetized. Bye, everyone.
And thank you, Rebecca, for being balanced, beautiful, and abundant.
You're so welcome. Bye, everyone. So excited to share a review from Melissa Myers, the Glow Girl. She says, inspiring podcast. Rebecca has a gift for creating meaningful, empowering conversations that leave you feeling inspired and uplifted. Balanced, Beautiful, Abundant is like sitting down with a wise, soulful friend who truly wants you to thrive in every area of your life. I love how she blends practical advice with spiritual insights. I'm so grateful I found it. Well, Melissa, we're so grateful that you found us, and we can't wait to find out how you are glowing and growing by using this podcast as a tool. And everybody who's listening and sharing, thank you so much for your support. And it's such a joy to be on this journey with you.